I did a video a couple weeks ago about Hakeem Nicks and how the Giants should not have traded Hakeem Nicks. I think my opinion was right on that, but in hindsight, looking at the way the season has unfolded for Hakeem Nicks and the Giants, if there was a trade to be made, you probably would have given up Hakeem Nicks for a bag of potatoes. The Giants coming into this week, right now I think they're going into OT tied with the Lions at 20-20. But there is no talks of the playoffs for the Giants as they have been eliminated from the playoffs. You know, coming into the season, you had high expectations for the Giants. You had a receiving core which everyone was proud of. Anyone, a fan of any team, would probably take the combination of Victor Cruz, Nicks, Randall, Jernigan. Jernigan hasn't done much in his career. His best highlight was over 100-yard catching a couple weeks ago for 6 catches, and this is when Victor Cruz was hurt, out for the half. Hakeem Nicks going into the contract year, his free agency year next year, you figure this year you will have a huge year. He's done nothing of the sort. He sat down, was sat out, benched in one of the biggest games against, I believe it was, the Cowboys. Has not caught one single touchdown pass. And you wonder what that does for him going into the offseason. The running game, you had high expectations as well. You had a young running back in David Wilson. David Wilson, who, if he wasn't fumbling the ball, was getting injured. And unfortunately, has an injury with his neck where it could be career-threatening. You brought in Brandon Jacobs. You brought in Peyton Hillis. Jacobs hasn't been able to stay healthy. Had one good game. Hillis, he's done okay for you, but he is not the main running back that you want going into next season. And then you had the offensive line, which leaves you less to be desirable. You also have Peyton Manning, who has thrown the most interceptions this year, and since 2009, total till now, the most TDs, the most interceptions as well in that course of that time frame. So this is what I worry about, you know, if I'm a Giant fan. How are you going to plug all these holes? Offensive line, running backs. You could always use, defensive backs. Anton Roll hasn't played safety, his natural position, in years. Myers, who you brought in from the Raiders, you let go of Bennett, hasn't done much either. He's been a bust. Eli Manning, will he be able to recover and have a bounce-back season? Yes, and here's the thing. Eli Manning, he has won you 2 Super Bowls. He never gets the blame. I guess that's okay if you won 2 Super Bowls in most fans' eyes. Who's responsible? Eli has to be blamed as well. This is what I worry about. I don't know if there's anyone, if the offensive coordinator or coach is able to stand up to Eli Manning and not be afraid to yell at him and let him know that he needs to do better. Maybe even bench him for a game, a quarter, a half. That's why ultimately I think to change the culture of the Giants, not only do you need to plug some of those holes, you need to get rid of your offensive coordinator and bring in someone new. One who does not have a relationship with Eli Manning. One who will be not afraid to tell him to shape up. Tom Coughlin is approaching 70 years old, and when it comes to coaching, as far as head coach, if you fire a head coach, I always feel that you have to have someone that's viable to replace him. Right now, there's no one viable to replace him. I know everyone's going to say, Cowher is not going to come. I think he's happy doing what he is, and same goes for John Gruden. I don't think that's happening either. But if you're the Giants organization, I think you will be, it's a very touchy subject. I think with Tom Coughlin, you have to prepare for an exit strategy after next year and get someone new. But so these are some of my thoughts, some of what the Giants should work on, and I guess a post-mortem on the season for the Giants. Very disappointing. I think, realistically, you need to hire a new offensive coordinator to help solve some of your problems with Eli, as well as, working on some of the other problems. But I think, again, what the season has come down to ultimately is Eli's mistakes, poor offensive line, Nick's running game seems to be all across the board, unfortunately, as far as the offensive side. So let me know what some of your thoughts are. And until next time, over and out, adios.